Yes. Where's Brent?
It says that in the rest, you won't be here.
Okay, 708. Okay. Map 2, Block 88, Page Road.
So the next meeting is, next Wednesday night, 6:30. I think that you had a meeting last night. We got a road plan from Rick to re-engineer the road, not even re-engineer it, but we had, with those two cuts,
Yeah.
one, the Weatherstorm, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he engineered stuff for that, and that's,
Yeah. Forestry meeting, 4th Mountain.
okay, you know that piece piece of property we own on Page Road,
Yeah, right by the.
map 5 well, Forest, Court Mountain Company sent us a proposal back in, May.
Is that when Jack wanted to trim back or something? How was it?
Well, he wants to trim back all around Page Road there, and then he wants to cut parallel cut, which we're not doing that parallel to cut because it didn't pass on engineering wise. So on that piece that we own, where we have blocked,
That's a McGonigal property?
Huh?
Dr. McGonigal's property we bought?
No, Dr.
Mohegan.
Mohegan, yeah, okay.
One of those, that's a
Yeah.
dentist, that was a dentist. That
Oh,
was a surgeon.
whatever.
Get the
Oh, you got doctor.
Yeah, doctor, you're good.
That's five.
Dr. Mo.
This piece over here, there's one house, when you come in Albuquerque, you can go, west. There's one house, and then there's the lot, and there's a little brick house.
Yeah, the birdhouse, yeah.
So there were 4 options. One was light forestry management. Second was moderate forest management harvest. That would take approximately 45% of the timber value would be targeted. That would net us around 4,900, which is what the, when the county forester looked at it, he also said around 4,000. And then, Kevin went for option 3, aesthetically pleasing revenue harvest. This option would focus on reaching a particular desired income level while maintaining a aesthetically pleasing forest. Healthy trees of various species and design with healthy crowns would be left in a widely spaced stand. This option is often chosen by owners who wish to capture timber income without affecting real estate value. Anywhere from 60 to 70% of the timber value can be captured in this option. Expected gross income could range anywhere from 6 up to 7,000, depending on owner's goals for residual forest conditions. This harvest is often a choice for owners with shorter-term goals wishing to maximize income with no plans for future harvest or simply want to maintain aesthetic and real estate value. So Kevin went with that one because there's a lot of deadwood in there. Jack doesn't want to clean up by the road. They can only take 50% by the road.
Right.
And then Kevin wants to get back into that beaver dam to be able to put a pipe in the beaver dam. I went with more of option 2. Approximately 45% of the timber value will be harvested. This is a forest management style harvest that will leave a productive woodlot and could be harvested sustainably in about 15 plus years. Expected income from this type would be around 4,900. So I guess it's really up to the Conservation Commission since we purchased
So what is the,
conservation money.
what is the money derived from?
So go to us on this piece.
Okay.
And that's a one-time $6,000 to $7,000.
Yeah, and then it says this harvest is often a choice for owners with shorter term goals wishing to maximize income with no plans for future harvest or simply want to maintain aesthetic and real estate value. So I wouldn't be opposed to that one. Because there is a lot of deadwood in there, and they would be good standing trees.
Yeah, we'd like to see good standing trees like that.
Yeah.
So if they went with number 2, they wouldn't take the deadwood?
Let's see, similar to option 1. Option 1 is light forest. This approach would focus on improving the quality of the woodlot by removing poor quality stems, diseased trees, and a portion of the financially mature stems. High quality crop trees would be thinned around to provide adequate growing space. approximately 35% of the timber volume, and that would net 3,800, that's option one. And then the next sustainable harvest would be 12 to 15 years. And option two is similar to option one, but a higher percentage of quality timber is harvested to capture more revenue.
What do they consider quality timber?
Not dead.
But is it hardwood, softwood?
Doesn't matter.
All of
Is
the-
it pines?
Yeah,
A lot of pines in there, I think mostly pines.
It's
Right.
mostly pine, it's very good pine.
For what?
This, option two was, will, this forest management style harvest that will leave a productive woodlot that could be harvested sustainably in 15 years. And in option three, you wouldn't need to do it in 15 years because they would take it around.
yeah, but it gives somebody in the future something, a little bit of revenue, something in the future.
Right. So option two is 4,900, and option three is 6,000 to 7,000, which, you know, it's what they can.
Now, do they have to leave standing dead for the woodpeckers, and
No, they don't have to.
what happens to them poor
They should.
birds?
They come to my house.
Well, that's what's happening with
Across the street.
the Souza property, all the birds are coming over to my house. I personally like option two.
I don't, just one opinion.
Yeah, I think option two is probably reasonable.
Go along with two.
And two is what I had originally.
I belong to.
Well, it's a conservation, we bought it with conservation, money, so I think that they should honor what we want.
It's probably only $1,100 difference. If they say 6,000 to 7,000, it's probably 6, so it's probably
Yeah, at least
$1,100
five.
difference.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Mhm. I think the guys, the consensus is that we go with number two. And we already sold 100%, I believe, they took all the trees down in the front yard. Kevin. Wonder how much money they got out of those trees.
The views of the chairman do not expressly fit the views of this.
I'm sorry.
Just putting it out there.
Thank you, Michael. Wow.
That's the cover.
We even have a disclaimer.
Yeah.
I did get, Brent did forward me, what Northwood used for an RFP to foresters to get a 10-year plan. And, because these guys, the Spark Mountain companies, did say we should, you know, of course, they were opting to use them, but, we should go out and try and see what other people have to say about it. I'm all, because originally I thought, for instance, North Fall, we should leave alone, you know, a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them. So really, I think we should take it. And I want Forrester to look at it first, and
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
then go from there.
You know, it's nice to think that you want to have a virgin forest, but look at all the property in California that's just burning. And that's because nobody's ever logged it, there's so much dead wood in there or whatever.
That's always true. Right, I'll tell them, I'll cheap.
Option two.
And the problem with Moore's Falls too is a lot of widowmakers in there.
Yeah, there's,
That might actually cost us money, that one.
I don't know.
Bring in, I can picture some pretty serious work here with all the widowmakers in there.
Mm.
Oh, so the next item, actually,
Yeah. We wrap the two together. Get the Martin gas pipeline over from Easton.
okay. They have evidently scaled back to a 30-inch pipe, but, from, it was 36, they scaled back to 30. So they have to do the environmental impact statement again. And, but that also gives them, I forget what you call them, blow-off thing, building
Yeah.
near 3A, I guess that's what I heard, near 3A, before you cross, between the river and 3A. The planning board did write a letter, and there's been hearings, Richard went to one, which Jason said Richard did a good job. Jason went to that one last week. Jill and I covered it, but not really very adequately. And then we had that letter, which was past the deadline anyway, from Wilton, and a bunch of conservation missions have signed on, they want the signature by, Mason Conservation, by August 1st, so we're past that. The selectmen wrote a letter opposed, the planning board proposed it, we haven't done anything. So. What was that meeting that you went to? Was that a FERC meeting?
Yes, one in Nashua, there's a FERC scoping meeting.
What was the purpose of it?
Basically, it's the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission's opportunity for citizens to express their concerns. So they went on until like midnight. And they sat out with town officials, they gave them a little more time, I think 7 minutes, Jason said, to go out and make statements. And then they went to just citizens who signed up, and there were about 80-something citizens who were each allowed 2 or 3 minutes. They had a timer, a red light.
Good thing. They've been there 4 in the morning.
Yeah. So, I don't know, what I'd like to go and do was the next night in Milford. I just saw Executive Counselor David Wheeler's remarks at that meeting. He's second to the governor in power, or the council, executive council is, and he blasted him. And it was pretty interesting. The first guy running the meeting didn't even know who he was, what his position was, so he didn't call on him to speak, although he had signed up with the other officials. He completely bypassed him. So finally, the guy's like, "Hi, have you gone past the officials yet?" "Yeah." "Well, you didn't call me." "Well, I didn't really understand who you were." And he got up and blasted him. You come to Washington, to our state, you don't even know what our government is.
Have you ever gone to any public hearing involving any level of government? We went to one on the water hearing, and the PUC birds were sitting out in the hall. There's 2 of them sitting up front, 2 or 3 are sitting out in the hallway chatting with people. And I went out and blasted them, this was a few years ago, and I went out and blasted them, like, yeah, oh yes, we'll just read the minutes later. That's how you conduct a meeting? You people disgrace to the state.
That was like DOT and the.
All the agencies operate that way. It's a fast, they're all fast meetings.
Yeah.
They're already made by their executive board. They don't make any decisions themselves. They just sign this.
From what I understand, we can write the letter, if we decide to do
I don't
it.
see where I put myself.
I don't think it's going to have much impact,
No.
because decisions have been made.
Yeah. But,
And
yeah.
it's a matter of who gets there first, through the permit,
Yeah.
the way I understand.
Yeah. Okay, land offering, Woodburn Road, what's
Okay,
this?
those 2 have to wait for non-public,
Okay.
and then if you skip down to Garrett, that's public.
Okay.
So,
Oh, there is, I know that I'm sorry, the Nashua Regional Planning Commission had sent something out about,
what topic is
on Kinder Morgan.
this? Yeah.
Something about, a request to sort of
Well,
get more information or
what
something,
happened-
or?
What happened was, way back in January, this, AECom sent out a letter of information to all towns. So we just handed it off to NRPC and said, "Go for it, put it together." Well, now that the pipeline is different, they have to do more. So that's what we got the FedEx letter.
You know the downside to it? It's like, this is open, you're good.
I don't think they moved it, if we know exactly what it is. They've done some survey work. So that's what all that went to NRPC again, I guess Kinder Morgan or AECom had to pay NRPC to gather it.
Well, what's the difference other than 6 inches? Well,
Yeah.
why would they downsize the pipe?
To get it approved.
Yeah, one of the main
Well, what's the
complaints is
difference-
that it's too big, it's excessive.
Yeah, but you're
So-
planning
so
for
now
the
you do it,
future.
then 10 years, 20 years from now, you come back and add a 36-inch one again, because the 30 isn't big enough, right? That sounds like good rocket,
So the
see?
pipeline down.
It seems like an awful waste of money. I mean, you've already got the permitting, you got the engineering done and everything.
Well, they don't, they don't have all that money.
Well, what about all the money they've spent for,
The
for,
conceptuals, I guess.
Yeah.
This is all in the pre-application process.
And I'm sure they got a lot of
They
it.
so
haven't
now
even
they're gonna
applied yet.
start all over again.
Well, not all.
No,
So
right.
when did they, originally they wanted, New York wanted to have the application first, like August?
September, now it's October.
Yeah,
They're shooting for October. But yeah, sort of answer your question, the points of contention are that it's excessive, and I suppose, and I'm not a scientist, whatever, but probably scaling the pipe down probably does have less environmental impact, would be my guess.
You gotta dig a hole, you
Yeah,
dig a
you gotta dig a
hole.
hole.
But that, I mean, that's,
That's gonna be the impact to the wetlands and the swamp. Thompson, because when you go through
The
there,
thing
there's
is,
access.
is the hole is a hole.
Yeah,
And I mean, and the smaller you shrink the pipe, the less you can run through the volume. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, but there's other guys out there running for this permit too. There's other companies that are trying to.
get the same permit, basically, for the same
There's like
thing.
5 different pipelines in the works.
Proposing the same thing?
Well, different, coming from different areas and stuff, but they're all kind of coming out of New York, and they're all kind of heading toward the Mass, New Hampshire border, going up toward, the ultimate goal of most of this is to get it up into Canada and probably export.
Well, they're coming down out of Canada. What are you talking about?
No,
They're coming down.
coming from New York and through
But
there.
they're coming down out of
Canada.
Canada through Maine.
Huh?
But they're coming down out of Maine through
Not
through Maine.
these, not
The
these.
gas lines are coming down from that way.
They're coming out of fracking out of Pennsylvania and
They're
going up.
fracking them from Canada.
Well, there- no,
My son's
there's-
looking at some land out of by for possible fracking.
It's
On
not
the
covering
border.
what they're trying to get now, Tom. I mean, there are different territories they're trying to cover, but
Mhm.
trust me, you put a lot of time into this. That's what these pipelines are trying to basically go through up into Maine. Maine needs gas bad, and get ultimately into Nova Scotia and possibly, I mean, they're going to be on the coast for export to other countries. That's been one of the points of contention too. It's like, actually, this pipeline New Hampshire is only going to get 10% of its capacity.
Oh, that's good. 10%'s nothing. Better than nothing.
Well, not when it brings, I mean, that's
I-
the debate.
I mean, I'm never gonna live long enough to see gas in my house in Litchfield, but I wish the heck I did. I'm sure it beats the price of oil.
But it's,
Yeah.
it may be that you never live long enough for this pipeline to see it, because this is not a distribution line, this is a transmission
Right.
line.
Yeah, right, yeah. But you've got to have
Nobody's making any
distribution to get it.
But nobody's making any
Distribution line.
commitments that there ever is gonna be any
Mhm.
distribution. In fact, it's not even really replacing any need. We're already getting the same gas elsewhere. Those are all issues that we don't want, we don't want to talk about.
Well, Ricky was saying how, how at that public hearing in Litchfield, how he has to shut his plants down from time to time because there's not enough gas in the lines.
What I'm saying though is that is something that's gonna happen regardless if this pipeline goes in or not, because they just have shortages that they can't deal with under contracts. They're contractual issues. And whether or not, if you have particularly cold days in winter, we're still gonna have those shortages.
Yeah, you shouldn't supply and demand.
Yeah, I mean, everything's contractually
Mhm.
agreed to, whether or not, it's out there. You still can't just tap into it, even though you got a 30 or 36-inch pipe.
Mhm.
You have to have the right to do it, and
Yeah, oh, yeah.
there are times when there's not gonna be, you're gonna overtap your resources, your contract. But,
Yep.
no, I mean, you talk about the joke too, it's like, with the federal government, they released a 6,000-something page report 2 days before that meeting that people were supposed to like absorb.
Digest, yeah,
Right,
digest, yeah.
to have any meaningful discussion, because
Doesn't that sound
basically
like
they
the healthcare
changed
plan?
everything. Right.
That sounds like normal bureaucracy. Okay, let's jump into Dairy Farm. Cool off.
So, there was a report of, some funky looking algae. So the state did come down, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm not really sure which day, maybe Tuesday. And they did look at it. First Kevin went over Monday, and he didn't see anything to beat, so he didn't post it. Then they did test it, and they thought that, no, it kind of looks like the bad kind of bacteria, cyanobacteria. So, I like the card I had, the pictures that I saw, kind of looked a lot alike. That's what they, I guess the state actually did test it, and so Kevin goes, this is good kayak in there. Don't stick a hand in the water.
Did you carry the bacteria, right? Yeah, the bottom of the kayak. Yeah.
I don't know if it was,
I thought your hair was a little shorter.
do you know if the high school is still doing the VLOT program up there?
I could never get an answer from the site.
Because I was doing it for like 3 years or so, and then the high school took it over. And so I just kind of let it go. I didn't have anything to do with it. Maybe that's something we need to look
Take the
into
research again.
for the winter. It's too late now, but I mean, we have to sign up for it again, next
Yeah.
year.
What's this
I
program?
don't know how long it takes for this stuff to go away, or how long it's going to be working, but.
I had heard, and this is, I don't remember where I heard it from, that some of the houses over on Dare Pond have pipes draining directly into Dare Pond.
Well, it could be drainage, it's not sewage.
I'm just saying that's what I had heard. I don't know.
The only pipe I'm aware of is from the ball fields.
Oh, is it all for this thing?
I think
They used to pump from, so now they have a well.
Right.
Not
Okay.
that, I've done the pipes. Not that I'm a-
That should be in the day or something.
I don't know how you can get away with it.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just.
Yeah.
Well,
Should
there's
be
typos
letting
on the
people
road,
comment
that
here,
one
but-
I know of.
Mhm.
I don't see any types over there.
So where would the stuff be coming from?
It's bacteria.
It's natural.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
because,
usually around this time of year, we just out here.
We've seen
going
other
over
ones.
Other places,
Yeah,
yeah.
DES is closed.
yeah, Pawtucket Way State Park, there's like,
Yeah.
6 beaches now that are closed in the state because
Yeah,
of,
Yeah.
It's a blurb out.
and it's all because of the water temperature,
The water, yeah.
temperature's getting
No
warmer
attempts
in
to
the
breed
water. and
bacteria too,
Yeah.
and cause the problem.
Yeah.
One of the big problems with like Pawtucket is the high population of Canadian geese.
Yeah, right.
Well, and the other problem with Pawtucket is, they let everybody and their brother in July 4th, there's no limits. So you go there July 5th, 6th, they tell you, oh, the E. coli is kind of high, but we'll let you in anyway.
Something the state agency,
You know, they have no limit on the state park with the.
Hmm.
So, anyway.
Okay, Roger, you're on. How's the
Wait a
rain?
minute, wait a minute. Oh, then
You're
I.
on. Are you back in the water?
Back to Darrow Pond, yeah. Jason asked me today about milfoil at Darrow. What we're gonna do, and I said, well, we're not gonna shoot it this year, because we, every other year. But he said, but remember they said in their letter to the state, you have to have a plan.
Yeah, okay.
We don't have a plan. So,
But that should be the
Sure we do, it's treated every year.
that should be the recreation committee, not us. They're in charge
well,
of the
all they
pond.
said was, well, but it's a natural resource, so then they slow that does. All they said was they would pay for it the second year. And I told Jason, you said about cutting it, it just grows. Jason said, no, that's hair.
No, that's
We
milk,
don't know
that's,
much about much anyhow.
yeah, that's milfoil.
That's
In
beside
fact,
the
if you read in this little book right here,
This is invasive species.
yeah, I got this from the Cooperative Extension Service. It's
Yeah.
very, very good. It has pictures and everything of all the different invasive species that we have in the state.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
Richard and I went to a seminar in Portsmouth a couple of years ago. about that. What's it say about milfoil?
The more you cut it, the more it
Milfoil.
grows.
Yeah, it says cutting is not
And all
the good
all
way.
the droppings
But
you
you
do.
have, Massapequa Lake, I've seen the harvester, and Robinson Pond uses the harvester. But with them, Hudson said we could use their paddle machine,
If you get it.
but you need a diet.
Mhm.
Well, that, and you have to do it on a continual basis, like
Yeah.
cutting your lawn.
Yeah.
If you cut your lawn this week, and 2 weeks from now, you gotta cut it again.
Yeah.
It's the same,
And I think they've also done that in conjunction with chemicals.
Yeah.
Robinson Ponds use chemical ponds on a regular basis.
yeah, I wouldn't think Massapequa would use any chemicals.
Oh, not Massapequa.
Yeah.
No, that's a water
Yeah.
system.
You can't even put your feet in the water.
No, you put chemicals to
Gas and oil.
Yeah, gas and oil is fine.
So that's all I had for, yeah.
Okay, you get 3.7. How's the rainfall coming, Roger?
Oh,
You getting any?
yeah, well. For June, we had 11.9 inches of rain for the whole month. That was incredible.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
2.9
July-
when I was going to Maine, it was horrible, it was the monsoon.
Yeah, for July, we had 4.7. What's really crazy is for this month here, my father's been in Nashville a couple of times. He said, "You guys get any rain over here?" I said, "No, you can hear it go all the way around us."
Yeah.
But we haven't really virtually had much rain at all.
No, I had 1/10 of my rain gauge is all I've had this
Yeah,
month.
I think that's,
Saturday, the other morning, we got a little bit, but what, I told you, the guy who used to irrigate the fields by air, he said he'd go up and he could see what's happening. The Uncanunic Mountains, the stuff comes from the west, and Uncanunic split it.
Yeah, Charlie's always said that just
That's
like
why we
that.
never get any of those big storms.
really,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, Charlie said that for years, the guy who used to spray his crops said you could actually see it, yeah.
So, but, you know, that's not helping.
No.
Garbage.
Right now, it's so
No,
dry, it's
no.
powder keg dry.
Okay.
So we have, right from the beginning of spring, we had odd even watering, right?
We still do, yeah.
Yeah. Do we still call them pressure? Yeah, it does pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Roger. And Roger says thank you. Yeah. Okay, I guess we're on to the budget.
Yeah, nothing on the budget.
No budget.
If you can think of stuff for 2016, you want, because Jason's gonna do the budget before he leaves. His last day is August 28th.
So if the budget would be there, but the recreation committee budget we do in the middle of the next year, right? Is that what you're saying?
If we decide to do that, yeah, because they said they would do the next time we did it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
the
Because I
third
went to that
time.
meeting, that's what they said, they agreed to,
Okay.
you pick up the tab
Mhm.
for,
So we'll have to hold them to it.
Yeah, we need to, yeah.
Are we supposed to do anything then?
I guess
Well,
we,
we should probably
I guess
send
we'll
a
have to do
letter.
paperwork and then send them the bill, I guess, it sounds like.
If that's what we want to do.
You know, I mean, what's the consensus? I mean, I think we should.
yeah, and I think, you know, there should be something, you know, in writing or, now what is it, a memorandum of understanding or an agreement of
Yeah.
understanding?
Yeah.
Between both
Both
boards,
yeah.
basically, on that issue, so that you at least have something
Mhm.
Now, did,
in writing.
they didn't do a dissolved oxygen after they did the, thing, after they did the treatment. What do you notice was it after the treatment in this year? Or after the treatment last year and then this year?
In terms of milfoil?
Yeah.
It looks like it's pretty much gone. There's a lot of rotted milfoil, but I don't see any living milfoil. I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't been out in the pond in the middle or whatever with the boat. I haven't gone around and checked, but the areas I've walked around look really,
Yeah, we
Really
were out
clear.
there, I think it was, July or June in canoe and really shallow on that north side. But yeah, I didn't see a lot of it.
Sharon, you were on the kayak. when you
Yeah, I
did it.
haven't seen, like you said, there's a few dead pieces that have been floating around, but
So I think, Michael's got the right idea that we need to hit that letter, put together, John, if we could.
Okay.
Make sure we all, just make we're on the same page.
Yeah,
and you know,
at least if-
And they've already, we did the
yeah.
quote on them, so let's follow up with it.
Exactly.
And it's the same pocket, but
Yeah,
let them fight for it.
yeah. And I have a lot of little correspondence items.
Okay.
Remember that?
Correspondence it is.
Okay, I told the Rockingham Conservation District whether they could put up these signs, they said, sure, go for it. About where they cut young forest and shrubland restoration area, so that they would put those signs at some point.
Is that for the bunny,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and the library's going to do a buddy program, I didn't get the date today, but probably in September. The people keep asking, what's happening, what's the date? So we should get some.
so you're gonna post that in the kiosk?
You know,
They're gonna, that's just a copy, they're gonna, put up, nice notes and whatever.
Oh,
okay.
It's just not, just something you're gonna put in the kiosk
Yeah,
itself?
that was for the kiosk. huh?
Yeah, like they have one up there now, restoration area, and they'll put, right on the post, after the post.
Have you been down there?
Yeah, the kiosk is a mess.
What about the trails? Do they need to be cut back?
Yeah, it's pretty weedy.
Do we still have the DR more?
No,
It's here, it's here.
it's here, or it's that, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, it's either here or there.
Kevin, either Kevin or Jack?
Yeah.
So, would you want me to go down and run it through the paths and
Sure.
clean it up?
Nice if you could.
Because the path, it's nice to get down there, but it's
You
really.
can get a day off.
What about the gate? Do I
Well,
still?
that's my next comment, the gate, new gate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks good.
I did, so I put the chain, you can see where my chain is, and Jack keeps telling me that it can slip right off, but I don't understand. The fire department put their lock on, so.
Do we still have our lock with the key that we used to have?
Yeah, and then the fire department lock is on there, and Doug keeps telling me that, I don't know, I have to probably guarantee
It's
Doug.
double
I
lock,
don't
is that what you're
understand.
saying?
What's he saying? You can,
But see, you can't slip that off.
no, that's awful high up and that's a short
Well,
chain.
it's through there, around the post.
Right.
But that's just probably a picture of the fence. Jack went and bought it, didn't get the bill.
Yeah.
And put it in.
Well, you want to mention it to Kevin that I'll be looking for the DR more?
Okay.
And the kiosk, I mean, should we be updating information on those, in those signs or whatever? I don't
Well,
know.
they've got a sign up there, I forget exactly what it says, Rockingham County Conservation has a sign up there, and then they're gonna put that sign up there. There is graffiti on our plexiglass, that one and that, Parker Park.
Parker, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we do something about that. We have a field scout project or something.
What they do, they put a,
Graffiti on the
Graffiti.
plexiglass.
not playing,
I don't think so.
Probably just easy to replace the
Piece
plexiglass.
of plexiglass, yeah.
Um,
Unless you have the power.
Okay. Back to the Future, A Changing Sense of Place. November 7th is your annual New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commission meeting.
Yeah, I got that right here.
Oh, you got, did you log in?
I got one in the mail.
45th annual meeting conference in Pembroke, so usually closer than it was last year. We went to the corner last year.
Yeah, picture.
They have a new director, and the place where they were, that junior high, yeah, Concord was kind of.
It's just north of
Yeah,
Manchester.
it's on the way to Concord.
It's on
Yeah.
Concord.
All right.
Right
I knew it was
Just
too
around
far.
where it is.
It's off
When
of
you go
like,
to Ramsey.
going to Loudon and that area, 106.
106.
Yeah.
Pembroke? No, it's just north of Concord.
Just north.
Over this
No,
side.
it's south of Concord.
So,
Yeah.
that's all.
South.
Yeah.
Pembroke Academy is.
Don't if you take the old Route 3,
Right.
like
It's
you go
in
to
New
Bass
Hampshire,
Pro Shop, it's,
And you just keep heading north on Route 3.
when you come to the set of lights there, instead of heading like to Bass Pro Shop, you take a right there, and isn't that Pembroke up in there?
Oh, I think you're right. Pennacook.
That's,
It's Pennacook.
Pennacook?
no, Pembroke is by far.
Hey, we're not going, we're not going.
We're gonna have a geography lesson next time.
You guys buy the old predicting system?
I know I've been there.
Where it is.
I just hit my OnStar. My OnStar, she'll direct me right there.
Yeah, right.
Very close.
There's a lot out there.
All right, so do you need us to sign up for that?
When they send you the email to sign up, yeah, you should sign up for
Is anybody else going?
$45.
Yeah, well, the seminars
I
usually.
went
very
last year.
interesting.
And now that you're a free man.
Is that on a Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday.
But they're all Saturdays to you.
Yeah, you're all.
Every day Saturday, yeah.
6 Saturdays a
Town
week.
pays for you to go.
Yeah.
Do we get a meal at McDonald's or?
No, you get a meal out there, pretty good too.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, the meal wasn't bad last
It's
year.
not just nuts and twigs. I mean, is that,
It's that guy, it's that guy's name that used to love you.
Rice cakes.
I think that guy that used to know the boots and black and stuff.
oh yeah, and he died.
Yeah, yeah.
We all do eventually.
Poison ivy roots got him, yeah.
Poison ivy. Okay, that's Rogers. Next is,
Going back at you, Roger.
Well, so when this comes through, do we have to notify you that we want to go, so that way they're the,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And this is just like, you get for when, save the date,
Same again.
November 7th,
It's never
way
dated.
off. It's always the first Saturday in November. Intent to complete forestry notification for Phyllis Riley's piece, map 15, lot 8, next to the that
Mhm,
That's right down here, that they just logged the other half before.
mhm.
Lay it and start curve.
No, right.
This is valid through July 17th. The public is the whole thing.
Yeah. You know, right now it's probably right, it's probably a good time to be in there.
And here's a,
Separate ticks.
such a birds, too, such a birds. Anybody want this environmental newsletter?
I get it online now.
All right, that's all, now the rest of what I have is, separate minutes is, non-public.
Okay. We got minutes. We have minutes, sir.
Do you have any minutes?
May 7th, I have something.
I have got any minutes. I didn't,
You did May 7th, someone did May 7th.
I don't think I
Mary-
received from me last year.
no, you weren't. We have any minutes?
Yes, I gave you the names.
I got May, I got May.
Oh, you do have any?
Yeah.
I couldn't find June on my computer, but that
I don't
doesn't
think I sent out June.
That's why I can go on my computer.
Okay, let's.
My secretary failed to give me a copy.
You give me May?
Yeah.
I printed them out tonight. Yeah. And I looked and I looked and I looked and.
I was gonna say, I know I sent out.
So we'll have to do it next month.
Yeah.
All right, next one we do.
We'll be doing 3 separate, we gotta do them next month.
All right, so do May next month as well?
And August 6th.
Okay, before we go into non-public, we have commissioners' comments or other business. Any comments or other business?
Oh, you know, up by, the guy who used to live in a log house who has all the old farm equipment and stuff sitting out by the side of the road that he sells.
Yes,
He was the son of the
Grant Smith's son. That-
Right,
that's his
right.
name?
Yeah, he died recently.
This week,
Yeah,
yeah.
61.
Yeah.
How much land?
that property probably is.
Yes, the two daughters of them now, the
Yeah.
two sisters, yeah. Left.
Do
Okay.
you know what he died of?
Nope.
I don't think that's just, they did CPR, so I mean, just some.
Heart attack, maybe?
Okay, RSA 91A:3D.
Do we have to show
Wait,
the camera?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to do a
non-public?
roll
We're gonna be
call.
going into non-public, so we'll be wrapping up.
Do you have to do a roll call?
We'll only be coming out to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we go into non